imagine an insulator breaks, and we're gonna go up there and fix it? Not on your life. That's never gonna happen. Why putting a screw, a small screw in the wood, creates such a problem? It never created a problem before. Okay, we need an alternative way of handling these assignments. I know Mr. Juan did not do this on his own. He was directed to do so by the mayor. Don't worry, okay? But
You're wrong in that, but go ahead.
Yeah. You're an elected official. You should have no input over political signage whatsoever.
Exactly.
Okay. What I suggest, and it will save 3 people their jobs, because I'm really mad about this. What I suggest is we take someone who is an elected official, who is not running for office, and who is not married to a person that is running for office, and that would be Betty Gonzalez. And let Betty Gonzalez be the just that portion, okay, of the planning and zoning ordinance. Let the system that Fernie developed, that worked quite well. Fernie, explain how you did a citation for a codes violation.
On the livestock issue,
Yeah, when you saw a codes violation, what did you do?
I would give a warning,
You give them a verbal warning,
verbal warning, and if that still didn't work, then I'd give them a written warning.
right?
And then on the third try, I'd give them a citation to court.
That's a good system, okay? If they don't comply, then they're going to be in court and they're going to be fined. They're breaking the law. But there's this notion of a compelling interest. What that means is, like across the street, Eric put a sign on 4th Street, okay, on the right-of-way, I call it the parking, it's on the west side. That street is Party City, okay, it's the Super Bowl's coming up and everybody's gonna have a party. That sign occupied a parking place. There is a compelling reason for not having a sign in that spot. I concur 100%. I don't concur that the city has a compelling interest when I put my sign right up against a power pole. One of the things it does is it keeps the wind from blowing all over the place. And I think everybody who's campaigned so far knows about the wind and that flimsy little metal stand. Don't work too good, does it? So I make use of the power poles to be a windbreak. And it's not a bad idea. It's worked for me. Most of my signs survived the season. Some of them I lose and I see them taking off and they're going for, Texas, they're going for, Oro Grande. But I don't see any reason why we can't have some type of medium on this. This was brought up earlier. In accordance with, here we go, personal opinion signs and political signs. No, go further down. Although the current requirements are not specific, candidates are asked, if you were being asked, to follow the following guidelines. I think that if we interpret that very loosely, there would be no reason for harsh words, there would be no reason for threats and innuendos, no hurt feelings, and everybody can go about what we've done for the last 5 elections. Well, this is the 5th one coming up. I don't see why we suddenly have a problem.
I thought it was a lot of fun seeing all those signs all over the place.
Oh, yeah, one last thing, really important, because this involves you. I had a theft by a city employee at the corner of Dumper and Dos Legos. I put a sign on private property with a steel 3/8-inch rebar. And it was taken at the same time that the signs at the intersection of Anthony Drive and Dumper were taken. The city took on private property, okay, one of my signs, one of the judge's signs, excuse me. Now, to show you how absurd this whole thing becomes. If I file a police report, or the judge files a police report, you can't investigate it. She's an elected official. We have to go to an outside source, an outside lawyer, no less. This has happened before. Everybody in the city here knows what I'm talking about. This is crazy. Signs get stolen all the time. Nobody thinks to think about it. You buy enough signs to make up for the loss, and you don't lose them. But we've gotten to a point where the animosity is it's the fact that there's such a big meeting tonight, and it's not even on the agenda, tells me that this is a sensitive issue. I just think that Betty should be the arbiter. If, I'm not even sure that the, Public Works knows precisely where the right-of-way it begins and ends. It's not marked. Which lots are private property and which ones are public property? They're not marked. And it's real easy for them to make a mistake. And when they act as judge, jury, and executioner and pull those signs up, this could lead to no good, okay? We've had a honor among thieves. Talking about politicians now. From other politicians taking my signs in, it happened 2 or 3 signs, that's all. We've got a kind of an honor system here. We don't want our signs stolen, so the opposing candidates don't want their signs stolen, and we reach a kind of a mutual, maybe a kid steals it, maybe somebody has a personal animosity for it. Me steals one of my signs, it could happen. But this is just going nowhere, you know, I mean, this animosity, this anger. And I felt really put out, and I think everybody who had their signs confiscated, okay, felt really put out. And if this continues, then we're gonna have to take steps to prevent it from happening. We've got an election coming up. We've got 3 weeks or what, 5 days? This is Wednesday, you know, 3 weeks and 4 days, 6 days. Tuesday would be 4 weeks. I don't want this. We shouldn't even be talking about this. Somebody got really carried away with this planning and zoning land use ordinance. And there are times when it should be enforced. Like I said, I was using the example of my neighbor across 4th Street. He's gonna have a Super Bowl party, and there's gonna be just cars all over the place. So every parking place is premium. You don't want political signs in those situations. But there are lots of right-of-way that no car is ever gonna park on. It's like this. Why can't you put a political sign on it? What's the clear and compelling reason you can't do that? That's really addressed to you, Mr. Mayor. Why can't you do that?
You don't address it to me, I didn't direct anybody, so.
Please submit yourself, I'll let him tell.
Mr. Roman can explain that to you.
You explain it.
I wasn't there, Mr.
Montoya, please.
So.
Thank you.
Mr. Roman, you wanna enlighten them as to what happened?
Like I said earlier, mayor was not at the office that day. I didn't say that, but the state was there. They were receiving the calls. And I walked in when the state was there talking to our city clerk. After that, I started looking at it and asking for